Firstly, thank you everyone for coming. On behalf of all the family and myself, it's great to see so many faces here. My mum was a very special person. It's amazing how many people Mum knew and kept in contact with. It was joked that we could never go anywhere without her knowing someone. She touched the lives of so many, and it is a testimony to her that so many of you are gathered here this evening. Today is a difficult and emotional day, but one which I hope is filled with happy memories and love for a wonderful woman, Alison. I am told that I was quite a demanding child, which I'm sure none of you would understand, but I was always into something. Mum would say that I didn't stop from the moment my eyes opened to the moment they closed at night. But I knew Mum loved spending time with me when I was little, and that never changed as I've grown up. My mum has always been there for me. Wherever I was in the world, even getting a phone call in the middle of the night from a rather tearful daughter in Moscow. We loved talking and chatting together and generally just sharing life. As a young child, I was fairly spoiled, but there were two things that I was deprived of: a cosy coupe car from Early Learning Centre and a Brio train set. However, amends were made for this by regular visits to ELC, where Mum would take me to play with these. It was, however, my 21st birthday present that Mum gave in to the pressure and disappointment I felt of being deprived that I was brought a Brio train set. And other friends, I think some of you are here today, clubbed in to get extra accessories for that. However, I was now too big for a cosy coupe. Mum loved holidays, especially in Salcombe, where she was taken as a child and where we continue to go as a family and with friends, some of you here. She was deeply saddened that our holiday had to be cancelled last year due to her health. She loved nothing more than sitting on the beach, finding shells and eating Salcombe dairy ice cream. My granddad always took me crabbing as a child over the quay in Salcombe, and on many occasions Mum helped her adult daughter to continue this pastime, with much excitement when a crab actually made it into the bucket. Mum was a talented musician. She could sight read any piece of music. She enjoyed playing the piano and had used her God-given talent in so many ways, through the worship group at church, playing for children's exams, and more recently the so-called boy band with girls in it at church. She was so enthusiastic and proud of this group and their desire to use their musical skills to worship God. She was always asking me for new kids' worship songs that she could use with them. She was thrilled when some of them came and played for her in the Christmas holidays. In her earlier adult life, she was very involved with a number of Gilbert and Sullivan musical societies and particularly liked getting a new outfit for each show. Mum had an interesting taste in clothing at times, especially in flowery skirts and outfits, and I'm sure many of you could picture her in one of them. She also had a love of shoes and had many pairs. During my childhood, I didn't share this passion. However, as I have grown up, my passion for shoes have developed, and I'm sure she will have just loved my beautiful new purple shoes for tonight. Mum loved her garden and was so grateful for those who have helped her with it since she has not been able to tend to it. When she came home and was bedbound in the front room, she just loved looking out of her patio doors at the garden and watching the plants grow and see and hearing the birds, and seeing the snowman and snow cat I built. She also had a love of flowers, and in the last 6 months she was at home, there was never a moment where there wasn't a vase of flowers on the mantelpiece, and in fact, at times it did look a bit like a florist. Mum had an amazing nose to be able to tell me that she could smell flower water, and that I really needed to do something about it. Another frequent topic of conversation was Marmalade. When I moved to Sea Green, Mum joked about replacing me with a ginger cat, which I was not amused by. When Mum came home from hospital, we somehow gained a friendly face at the patio door, being our neighbour's ginger cat. Apparently, his real name was Tiddy Cat, but we couldn't call him that, so we called him Marmalade. Mum had this wonderful ability of knowing the cat needs stroking or the cat's hungry, Jana. Just at the point where I'd sat down or was in the middle of doing something. In the cold and the snow, I was told to get our old cat's basket out from the garden for Marmalade to sit in the front room. However, he would rarely settle and enjoyed prowling round the front room much more, till one of us would get annoyed and I'd have to put him out. This cat brought great joy to both of us and became a great talking point with carers and visitors, and we were both very sad when he had to be put down 3 weeks prior to Mum dying, when I found him unable to move by the side of Mum's house. Talking about Mum's house, it was never the tidiest of houses. If we could prove that something had 3 uses, then there would always be a place for it to go. When wanting to do an activity at New Wine and wondering how I could get my hands on 200 cereal boxes, it shouldn't have been a surprise that Mum was able to go into the garage and find nearly the number required. I guess the saying is true that tidy people never make such exciting discoveries. Throughout her life, Mum has worked in the educational profession. It was possibly this that contributed to her collection of things, as you never know when a polystyrene pizza base, yoghurt pot, or indeed cereal packet might come in handy. In fact, even when she was having 40 sips to drink, she kept the lids for Stephanie to use at nursery. She had a number of roles during her career, including nursery teacher, head teacher, working for Derby College and the University of Derby, and more recently working in family learning and supporting parents and children. Mum gave up work when I was born and really practiced what she preached about the importance of stay-at-home mums. She thrived on seeing parents engaging with their children and seeing children grow and develop. She used her professional expertise in leading Little Nippers, the parent and toddler group here at church, for a number of years, and Scramblers, the Sunday morning group for 3 to 5s. Mum's faith was amazing. She could always be counted on to prayerfully consider things and give wise answers, not necessarily always what you wanted to hear. She had a desire to share her faith, and even whilst in hospital, had opportunities to share her faith with the others around her. The last few months have been extremely difficult, with her health deteriorating, but my mum defied all expectations and wasn't likely to give in without a fight. Her faith and courage were an inspiration to many. She battled her illness so well. Mum was grounded in her faith in Jesus and the knowledge that she would be with him forever when this life ended. I know that Mum is in heaven with Jesus, and while it is so sad and I miss her so much, I know that she is safe and in the best place ever, where she can wave her flags and praise all day long. There are so many more things that I could say, but I think that's nearly enough for now. Alison was known by many names in her lifetime. Alison Cove, her maiden name, Miss Jean when she worked at Hardwick Nursery, Alison Holder, her married name, Mrs. Holder as a teacher. But to me, the only name I would call her was Mum, and I got in trouble if I didn't call her that. And only I had the privilege of calling her it. Whatever happens in life, you only have one mum, and I'm so proud to be able to call her my mum. When I think about the future, life without Mum seems unbearable. She was not just my mum, she was my friend too, always there for me to chat and to listen. Abraham Lincoln said the best thing about the future is that it comes only one day at a time. And I pray that God's grace and strength will continue to help me and all of you here. But as a Christian, I have the hope that one day I will see her again. This is just the end of a chapter, not the end of the book.